Hey everybody, welcome back to Durbin's Bourbon. Got my buddy Josh here tonight.
Glad to be here.
We're going to be doing a top 5 bourbons for beginners. I've got some likes and popularity and questions on what's in my whiskey cabinet and a lot of hits on stuff about knowledge-based stuff or beginners that are just starting out. So we thought we'd do a video for beginners. We're not anymore, but we tried to look back at when we started, what worked, what was too hot, what wasn't, and so we decided we would do a video on that. So we're going to go through all of them, talk about price points and
Like flavor
profiles, availability, and the nose and everything for when you're beginning. What's good on the nose and palate for someone that's just starting out. So I thought we'll go Larceny. I'll do a couple, and then Josh is going to do a couple, and we'll talk about them. Larceny, it's a wheated bourbon. It's a great one. It's readily available everywhere. It's a cool story that goes along with it as well. It's a 92 proof bourbon, so it's not on the low end like at 80 proof. 92, it's got a nice nose to it. Kind of a lot of vanillas, some little bit of caramel and stuff in there. It's the only wheater in the bunch, actually, so we felt we needed to throw a wheater in there. There's some others out there that we used to drink all the time. Weller 107, you cannot get them anymore. Weller 12, impossible to get. With the bourbon boom that's going on, those are just unavailable right now, at least in our area. They might be in yours, so if they are, snatch them up.
I don't know if you've gone over this before, but what he means by wheater is the mash bill's more wheat, so it's typically sweeter. And it's easier to drink. Like he said, the Weller 107 was our favorite because you could get it. I mean, it was like our table bourbon, right? I mean, you just sip it all day long, and well, not all day long,
Right, but we did sometimes. Yeah.
However, it's a really easy to drink bourbon, and it's 107 proof. Now you can't get it because of the bourbon boom, but this Larceny is the delicious wheater as well, I think.
I agree, 100%. Price point on it is Larceny's running in our area right now. It's on sale, $23, $24, so it's under 30, even when it's not on sale anymore. So it's affordable to begin. The next one here is one of my favorites, 1792. It's a decent mash bill. It's a little bit on the rye side, but it has a lot of vanilla in the nose. It's also a 93. It's a 93 proof, so just a little bit hotter than this one as far as alcohol proof, but it's a decent small batch bourbon, meaning that this particular distiller, small batches can be anywhere from 5 barrels to a batch to 200. Typically, the smaller ones, Buffalo is considered a small batch as well. So there's less barrels going into a batch to regulate the flavor, consistency, and everything. There's a little bit more that goes into the small batches.
What's the price on that one?
The price on the 1792, $32.95. So it's a pretty decent price as well. And a little history on 1792. That is the year that Kentucky became a state. Hence the
wealth
name.
Of information.
There you go. Just floating around up here. Want to go on?
Yeah, so the Elijah Craig used to be, always was it? It was date stamped 12 years.
Yes,
that's when I first got into bourbon. It was all 12 year. They had the 18 year. The 18 years up in the hundreds now.
Yes, it is.
12 year. I've only seen the 12 year recently in the 1.5 liter bottles, the big bottles.
Yeah.
So anyways, they don't have an age stamp anymore, but it's about $29. It's a little more peppery. It's got a little more of the barrel, I guess the barrel flavor, the char. I really like this one. I think it's a little more spicy. And for a beginner, you might want to add some water to it instead of drinking it just neat. It really brings out the flavors, I think. A lot of cherry. I have some right here. It's got a lot of leathery notes to it. But I think it's an easy one to drink as far as when you're beginning. And the price point is good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Great tip too with the water.
Yeah.
I didn't mention that. You can add some bourbons, like I said in a previous video, they don't take water very well, but that one does. Most will. You add a little bit of distilled water, or like be a nerd like me and I order Kentucky water that's cool for it or whatever. But distilled water is just fine. And that can enhance the flavor, lower the proof a little bit if you're new to bourbons and they're a little too hot. The water will help. That's a great tip.
And it's all about what you like. I mean, there's probably people that hate it. I mean, they think, whatever. So it's what you like the taste of. I have always liked the spicier, the more rye, whereas Joe typically liked the wheated ones when we first started our bourbon journey. And so we just have a little bit different flavors that we like. However, we like them all now, I'd say.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
Except for there's some that aren't the greatest. But next, I think the easiest one to get into bourbon is Buffalo Trace. I mean, it's been like the same price, about $25 for as long as I can remember. It's easy to drink. It's easy to find. I like everything about it. I think it's a great, decent, good price bourbon until hopefully it doesn't get on the Weller train.
Allocations
but
and all that.
It's so produced so much that I don't think that'll happen. Anyways, it's got I think it's a little more rye than.
Yeah, it is. I agree with that.
It's not. It doesn't have that heat as I would even say this. Like I said, it's peppery. This one doesn't have that. It comes from the same distillery that does all the Wellers and
which is Buffalo Trace out of Frankfurt.
So I would say my overall pick, the easiest and best priced to start with, would be Buffalo Trace. I mean, all these are great, but in my opinion, that's the one that really got me into enjoying just sipping bourbon instead of putting it with a liter of cola.
Yeah, exactly, because that's how most of us started out.
So,
and I agree with that 100%. The Buffalo Trace, it's readily available in everywhere, every market, every state, and it's consistent. You can buy a bottle this week and then 3 months from now buy a bottle. The flavor profile is always going to be consistent. They do a great job with that bourbon. So that's probably, I'd agree, number one pick for a new bourbon. You can't go wrong with it. And then you can branch out a little bit with the others. And this is just, like I've said before, it's subjective. This is just, we have notes and we compiled stuff and we went back and forth and we were pulling stuff off the bar and looking at this and trying to figure, it's tough to narrow it down to 5 because there's so many that are incredible. I mean, there's such different nuances with flavors and noses and, like Josh was saying, peppers and the caramels. This was just we had to pick 5, and after we hashed it out, this is it. And gosh, you can watch other videos and you'll see some similarities with other videos having Buffalo Trace. Eagle Rare is going to be in some. That's a great one. We tossed that around for a while, but we'll move on to the next one that's in the middle here. Henry McKenna Bottle and Bond, 100 proof. What's it running at? About $30 for a bottle. It is a nice color. They all have great colors, but it's a bottle and bond, which has certain regulations that go along with why it's a bottle and bond. One distillery season, has to be 100 proof, has to age 4 years minimum. This is a 10-year-old bourbon
with an age statement.
And so as a bottle and bond goes, it's fantastic. It's great neat. It's great on ice. Makes a great old fashioned. Makes a great mint julep even. It's got enough alcohol content that it can withstand that sweetness and stuff that goes into those old fashions or mint juleps. You need a good strong whiskey. That's why high proof ryes go so well with those. But it can stand up against that really, really well. Flavor wise, what kind of flavors do you get out of that, Josh?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Not really. It's definitely Got a lot of vanilla.
Yeah, I noticed that. We opened
Sweetness.
it a bit ago. Yeah. Yeah, that vanilla, it's vanilla forward, which is really cool, and that's such a strong characteristic of bourbon in general, is that vanilla tone coming out. Some of your dark fruits will come out in other bourbons as well, like the Elijah Craig. There's some dark fruits that come out in there. Uh, Prices are good. All these are readily available. Prices are good. What am I having right now? I am having small batch, 1792. Good on the nose, smooth on the palate. I didn't water it down or anything. What is it you're having?
I have the Elijah Craig. Like I already said, it's got put a little bit of water in it to open it up. It's before the water. It's very peppery and leathery, I guess. Like,
Oh yeah,
like
that's a
belt.
good. Yep.
And then once it opens up, you can taste or smell the, like you said, the darker fruits like cherries. It's really, like I said, it's one of my favorites. So I'm kind of partial to this one.
Yeah, we do
I
have
think it
our.
just smells delicious.
Yeah, we do have our partials. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Josh.
Cheers.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, same on the palate.
Mm-hmm.
It's just delicious.
It is. So our next video we're going to be doing, it's going to be top 5 scotches for beginners. That one, I think, we'll probably have the same amount of difficulty trying to pick ones. We'll probably have some Highland scotches in there. We'll probably have some Islay scotches. Those are going to be your peatier ones. Lafroig, Ardbeg. We know the Ardbeg's going to be in there. That's for sure. That's one of our favorites. I did a review already. Y'all have seen it, and it's tough. There'll probably be some Glenlivets in there.
We should do like top 30.
We could. It would. It would be a lot easier. But not everybody wants to buy 30 bottles of
or watch this for 4 hours.
Right. So until next time, we're down the bar. Remember, like and subscribe. Durbin's Bourbon. Till next time. See you later.